This is Kira, aka Kiki, and this is Sunday, March 22nd, and we are living through the coronavirus pandemic. Today, I was blessed with a few group Facebook Messenger video chats with some people that I love to death. By a few, I mean two separate group of friends, all of which are so dear to me. Made me happy, and I saw all of my nieces and nephews, and I wore my cat on my head because I was a cat head. Don't ask. I'll show you the picture later. And I had some wine, and I just ordered some pizza, and you know what? It's okay. It's Sunday night, and I'm being safe, and I'm socially isolated, and we're all going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. Right now, Sunday night at 7:20 p.m., the U.S. is reporting roughly 32,300 coronavirus cases according to Worldometer. And around the world, around the U.S., we now have over 335,400 cases and 14,600 deaths. As we have been often starting our chats, let's go ahead and talk about some positive things. What made you happy? What is happening in the world that's a positive, that shows us coming together, something good that we can take away from it, or some developments in this whole situation that will give us hope. So I want to talk about two things today on that regard. One is briefly just I wanted to express my gratitude and throw out some kudos to all of the state governors that have been vocal, that have been doing their job to keep their constituents as safe as possible. They are faced with a lot, especially when the federal government doesn't quite produce the results and the whether it's legislation or certain orders to get equipment into production that we need while the federal government is lagging behind. This is a shout out to the state governments for doing the best that they can, specifically shouting out Cuomo of New York, Newsom of California, and Larry Hogan of Maryland. Not excluding anybody else, but particularly because these are the three voices that I have heard the loudest so far. Maybe from where you're sitting, you're hearing your governors louder, and that's, not disregarding that, discounting that by any means, just from where I'm sitting, those are the three that I've heard. That, and another positive is between last night and this morning, I participated in two Facebook Live chats with two figures, which I thought it was a new experience for me. One figure was Charlie Goldsmith, held a Facebook Live healing session. He's an energy healer. Look him up. Does really, really amazing stuff. Has a beautiful energy. Unfortunately, I can't see all the orbs floating around them, but I know some other intuitive, wonderful people do see that. The beautiful energy that he's surrounded with. So he did a free healing session for anybody that tuned in. And it's cool because you're actually reading, all of the comments from all of the participants on Facebook to see who has it worked for, how people are affected, And another one that I did was this morning. Um, Adrian from the YouTube channel Yoga with Adrian. She did more of a sit down chat called Love Letters from Adrian, and without going into details of what that is. The point is, was another situation where there was a community of loving individuals and this beautiful energy, and everybody was kind of vibing in the same thing. We're all alone together. We are all trying to get through this together, and this was an opportunity for all of us around the world, from places like Russia, Germany, Italy, where there's so much suffering right now. Of course, the U.S., Asia Pacific, Africa, Europe, really, you name it, kind of, all over the place, Latin America, and people around the world are gathering on these Facebook channels to be alone together. But between, I guess, the end of last week and today, we have had a number of shelter in place or stay-at-home orders coming in state by state. At this point in time, according to CNN, that includes over 100 million Americans, which is also 1 in 3 Americans are told to shelter in place or to stay at home. With states like, starting with California to New York to Connecticut, Illinois, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and the latest are Delaware, Kentucky, Ohio, and Louisiana. All of these states, the residents, the orders all differ little by little depending on which states we're talking about, but essentially all non-essential businesses are closed, and the residents are asked to stay at home except for venturing out for the most essential things, which includes going to the grocery store, going to the pharmacy, I'm assuming taking a dog for a walk. But as we have been living in this new normal right now, is we're entering the next phase of that. So we've already been socially distancing, then we went from socially distancing to socially isolating, and right now we're asking to step that up one more notch. And again, right now it's 1 in 3 Americans. I see this escalating very quickly. But so as we're entering this newest state of normal and this newest state of being, I think one of the ways that we can all, or at least I think for me, what's gonna work to keep my sanity together, and again, hopefully that's gonna help all of you, is to have a routine and have a plan. So instead of, whatever situation you're in, whether you're still working from home or going to work, or whether all of a sudden you find that you have so much more free time, more than what you bargained for, instead of just pining around the house, having absolutely nothing to do, set yourself some kind of a routine and keep a certain level of normalcy for yourself. Again, that may differ from person to person, but my recommendations would be is 1, shower, wash your face, brush your teeth, do your basic hygiene every day like you always do. Don't let that go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you normally wear makeup, go ahead and put on makeup, because if that makes you feel good, if that makes you feel fresher, if that makes you feel just, more ready to take on the day. Or maybe, try something different and reverse it, and, flip it and reverse it. And if you normally wear makeup, try going a little bit more natural. This is more or less what I'm trying to do. My makeup is at a bare minimum right now compared to how those of you that know me in life may actually know me. If you know me in person and you've been watching these videos, you're just like, whoa, Kira, what happened to the 10 pounds of eyeliner you have on? Gone, baby. Just a little bit of mascara, just a very basic layer of foundation, and that's it. Really keeping it as natural as I can, letting my skin breathe a little bit. But, like I said, if it helps you to put it on, to feel ready to take on the world, then do that. What else do you do in the morning? Do you work out in the morning? Keep doing that. If your routine includes the gym, do something at home. If your routine includes, going outside for a run and you're at a state where that is now discouraged, run in place at home. Do you have stairs do you live in a house or a townhouse or a duplex where you have stairs? Go up and down several times. If you're in an apartment, run in place. Do some jumping jacks. You know what? Don't worry about your neighbors. I'm sure at a time like this, they will understand a few minutes of jumping jacks. Uh, I have been starting my day, started in January of this year, but I'm keeping this going and is finding it especially helpful and especially useful right now is, before I get my day started, I wake up, I wash my face, brush my teeth, I make me some coffee, put on the morning news, and after a few minutes of that, I do morning yoga. Every day, put on a video on YouTube, sometimes Amazon Prime, and do anywhere from 10 to 16 minutes of yoga, depending on, which video. Usually I plan these ahead of time so that I'm not, stuck, not making up my mind in the morning about what I do and what I don't want to do, but make it a habit, make it a routine, stick to it. Get dressed, and then what do you do next? For me, my routine includes, especially Monday through Friday, I do that. Then I go to my makeshift office space at home, which is actually a desk that I have set up in my bedroom, and I work. I do a solid 8 to 10 hours worth of work for my actual job. And if you don't have that, if you find yourself with a lot more free time, then plan out what you do want to do. Say, okay, maybe today you wanted to start, writing that book that you've been thinking about forever. So set yourself aside time for that. Maybe, you do truly value your social media time. So set yourself a time for that, and, go in and say, okay, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., that's when I'm going to go down my, listen to Instagram and look at everybody's stories and comment, or whatever your routine happens to be, whatever keeps you sane, whatever keeps you in your normal. Like, I know I've said this before multiple times in different videos, read a book, draw a picture, go back to a hobby. For me, I started doing this recording. This is now my evening routine. So every evening, whatever I'm doing throughout the day for the last week, I have stopped what I'm doing, or in between activities, I talk about a subject that's on my mind. I record this and then I post it for all of you. Again, take walks. If you spend a lot of the day sitting down, which I know is something that I do a lot of, between having a computer job to, well, I mean, I guess right now we're all kind of stuck on our couches. You know what? Take the time to stand up. Stand up, walk around, stretch your limbs. That's going to do wonders for you. Look, I'm stretching right now. Stretch. You know, all of that. Do all of these exercises. So good for you. Wake up, get that blood flowing through to your brain. Get that, just get that oxygen flowing through your body. But do it. So lately, my routines have included coffee and yoga, work, making this video for you, taking a walk, and maybe fitting in something else that I want to do. And I usually finish each day by, just relaxing here on the couch, watching a show or a movie that I'm into, and then going to bed. What about you? How are you spending your days? Do you have any routines that are helping get you through this? Are they the same routines that you have always followed? Are you building new routines? And if not yet, would you consider creating a routine to get through this time? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Or just hit me up. Be strong, stay safe, stay vigilant, love and light.